Hello children, I hope you all fine. In this science video session, we are going to learn 9th standard science, unit 10 chemistry, matter around us.
Matter is everything around us. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the pen we write, clothes, stones, plants, animals, a drop of water, or a grain of sand, everything is matter. So, this all the materials have two properties. So, what are the two properties? They have mass and they occupy space. Now, what is matter? Anything that occupies space and have mass is called matter. Here we have the few examples of matter. Water is occupying space inside the glass. And when you blow the balloon, the gas is occupying the space inside the balloon. Notebooks is occupying the space inside the bag. Fruits and human beings have the mass. Matter are classified into two substances. One is pure substance, another one is impure substance. This impure substance also called as mixture. In pure substance, it is divided into two. One is element, another one is compound. In mixture, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Let's see briefly about the classification of matter. Pure substance. A pure substance is one which is made up of one kind of particles. So, what is pure substance? The substance that are made up of only one type of atom or only one type of molecule is called pure substance. For example, pure iron would only contain iron atoms. So, this pure substance are of two types, element, compound. Element. An element is a substance which cannot be broken into simpler substance. It is made up of only one kind of particles. So what is element? It is made up of only one kind of particles. So all the atoms are exactly same in the element. Example of element is copper. These elements are also of three types, metals, non-metals and metalloid. Metals. 78% of non-element are metals. They usually have high melting and high boiling point. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. Example copper. Non-metals. Most non-metals are brittle and are not malleable or ductile. At room temperature, they are usually solid or gases. They are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Here the example of non-metals are carbon, sulfur. Metalloids. It has some properties of metals as well as of non-metals. Hence, they are also known as semi-metals. Example, boron, silicon, germanium. They are fair conductor of electricity. Now, compounds. A compound is a substance which is made up of two or more elements chemically combined in a fixed ratio by mass. For example, canned sugar is made up of three elements, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. The chemical formula of canned sugar is C12H22O11. Here C is represented, carbon, H is hydrogen and O is oxygen. One important thing, this compound can be broken into two or more elements but not by physical process, it is only by chemical process. Here we have the example of compounds, that is compounds of fluorine. Compounds of fluorine are used in our toothpaste as they strengthen our teeth. Here we have difference between elements and compounds. Elements consist of only one kind of atoms. It means it is made up of only one kind of atoms. Compounds always have more than one kind of atoms. We cannot divide element into two or more simpler substances by physical or chemical method. Okay, we cannot divide the element by any physical chemical method. We can divide compound into element by chemical method. Only we can divide this by chemical method, not by physical method. There are only 118 types of elements known to mankind. There is no upper limit on the type of compounds that cannot be formed. Let's see impure substance mixtures. A mixture is an impure substance. It contains two or more kinds of elements or compounds or both physically mixed together in any ratio. Here we have the example of mixtures. Lemon squash is a mixture. Why we are saying it is a mixture? It contains what? Lemon, sugar and water. So, it is an impure substance. Why we are saying lemon squash is an impure substance means it contains two or more kinds of elements or compounds. It is mixed physically together in any ratio. So, it is a mixture. Do you know blood is not a pure substance? Why it is not a pure substance? It is a mixture of various components such as platelets, red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles and plasma. So, blood is a mixture. Let's see difference between compounds and mixtures. Compounds made up of a single substance. Mixtures made up of two or more substances. Elements in a compound are always in a fixed ratio. Amounts of substance in a mixture can vary. Properties of a compound are different to those of elements it contains. Properties of a mixture are similar to those of substances in the mixture. Difficult to separate the elements of a compound. Usually easy to separate the substance in a mixture. There is usually a heat change when a compound is formed. Very little heat change when a mixture is made. Let's see one activity to understand the difference between compounds and mixture. Take some powdered iron fillings and mix it with sulfur. Divide the mixture into two equal halves. Keep the first half of the mixtures as it is, but eat the second half of the mixture. On eating, you will get a black brittle compound. The black compound is iron sulfide. Iron plus sulfur, when eating, it gives iron sulfide. The iron sulfide formed as totally different properties to the mixture of iron and sulfur. Here iron is an element and sulfur is also element. When we eat these two elements, it gives one compound, that is iron sulfide. Let's see mixtures. We have two types of mixtures: heterogeneous mixture, homogeneous mixture. What is homogeneous mixture? A mixture in which the components cannot be seen separately is called a homogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture. A mixture in which the components can be seen separately is called a heterogeneous mixture. Let's see a few examples of homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture to understand clearly. Here we have the example of heterogeneous mixture. Sand plus water. Next example of homogeneous mixture. Sugar plus water. When you mix sugar into the water, the sugar completely dissolved in the water. So we can see here Uniform composition. We cannot see separately sugar and water. So here we have the uniform composition, so that this mixture is called homogeneous mixture. A solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. In a solution, the component present in lesser amount by weight is called solute, and the component present in larger amount by weight is called solvent. So here in this water is a solvent and sugar is a what? Solute. So here sugar is a what? Lesser quantity. So lesser substance in lesser quantity in solution is what? Solute. And substance in larger quantity in solution is what? Solvent. Here water is the larger quantity, so solvent, and sugar is a lesser quantity, so it is a solute. Next, the sugar is completely dissolved in water, so that sugar solution is called what? We'll say solution. We have types of solution. One is true solution, colloidal solution, and suspension. What is true solution? In the true solution, the particles never settle down. For example, sugar solution. Okay, in that sugar solution, the particles never settle down. Colloidal solution. In the colloidal solution, we consider cloudy mixture. In a case of starch and water, we get a cloudy mixture. So, it is a what? Colloidal solution. And next is suspension. In the suspension, all the particles will slowly settle down. Okay, for example, mixture of flour. Okay, that is also an example of suspension. In that suspension, all the particles will slowly settle down. So types of solution is true solution, colloidal solution, suspension. In true solution, particles never settle down. Colloidal solution, it's like a cloudy mixture. Suspension, slowly settle down. Let's see the example of colloidal solution. Brownian moment. When colloidal solution are viewed under powerful microscope, it can be seen that colloidal particles are moving constantly and rapidly in zigzag directions. The Brownian momentum of particles is due to the unbalanced bombardment of the particles by the molecules of the dispersion medium. This Brownian momentum explains that how the particles react, how the particles moving in the colloidal solution. Tyndall effect. In 1869, observed that when a strong beam of light is focused on a colloidal solution, the path of the beam becomes visible. This phenomena is known as Tyndall effect. The light passes through the copper sulfate solution and the Tyndall effect is not visible. When the same light passes through the water and milk, the light becomes visible. Let's see what is emulsion. An emulsion is a colloidal of two or more immiscible liquids where one liquid is dispersed in another liquid. This is called emulsion. This means one type of liquid particles get scattered in another liquid. In other words, an emulsion is a special type of mixture made by combining two liquids that normally don't mix. Here, two types of emulsion is there. One is water emulsion, another one is oil emulsion. So, oil and water emulsion, water and oil emulsion. Oil in water emulsion, the oil is very less. Water and oil emulsion, the oil is more but water is less. Here we can see the example of oil-water emulsion. Let's see process of separation. In this lesson we have 6 process of separation method. One is sublimation, centrifugation, solvent extraction, simple distillation, fractional distillation, and chromatography. First is sublimation. Sublimation is the process in which transforming the solid to vapors without intermediate passage through the liquid state. In this sublimation, certain solid substances, when heated, change directly from solid to gaseous state without attaining liquid state. The vapors, when cooled, give back the solid substance. This process is known as sublimation. Example: camphor, ammonium chloride, iodine. When a solid directly changes into its gaseous state on heating, the process is called sublimation. Here we have the china dish, camphor, funnel, and cotton. When you applying heat on the china dish, inside the camphor will start heating and it's directly converting into vapor state, gaseous state. Finally, this gas is settled on the funnel. Let's see centrifugation process. It is a process to separate minute suspended particles from liquid when spun rapidly. The heavier particles are forced to bottom and lighter ones towards top. Example of centrifugation is separation of ghee from curd. This principle used in milk dairies. Centrifugation is used to separate cream from milk. In washing machines, this principle is used to squeeze out water from wet cloths. Centrifugation is also used in pathological laboratories to separate blood cells from a blood sample. Next is solvent extraction process. It is a process to separate two miscible liquid by each other by using separating funnel. Example: separation of oil from water. So here we have the separating funnel, kerosene oil, water, stop clock. Okay, this method works under the principle of difference in solubility of two immiscible liquids in suitable solvent. Now we'll see the distillation process. It is a process to separate two miscible liquid from each other by heating them at their boiling points, followed by condensation. Here, the difference between the boiling points of two liquids must be more than 25 Kelvin. In this method, a solution is heated in order to vaporize the liquid. The vaporize of the liquid on cooling condense into pure liquid. For example, seawater in many countries is converted into drinking water by distillation. This method is also used to separate two liquids whose boiling point different from than 25 Kelvin. Now we'll see the fractional distillation process. It is a process to separate two miscible substances from each other by heating them at their boiling points, followed by condensation. Through fractional distillation, we can separate two substances having difference between their boiling point less than 25 Kelvin. Note this: in simple distillation, we have more than 25 Kelvin. In fractional distillation is less than 25 Kelvin. This fractional distillation is used in petrochemical industry to obtain different fractions of petroleum to separate the different gases from air to distill alcohols. Here we can see the picture of fractional distillation. Here in that flask, alcohol and water, and fractional column is there. Inside the fractional column, thermometer is fixed, and through the condenser is there. In the condenser we have two opens. One is water out, another one is cold water out, and then finally through the condenser The alcohol is collected by the container. Now we'll see the chromatography. It is a process to separate different colors soluble in same liquid. Chromatography is also a separation technique. It is used to separate different components of a mixture based on their different solubilities in the same solvent. Based on this principle, we have paper chromatography. In this method, we use it to separate the different colored dyes in a sample of ink. Another example of chromatography, separation of drug from blood, separation of chlorophyll from leaves, separation of colors from dye. Here we have the example of paper chromatography. As the solvent moves up the paper, the dyes are carried with it and begin to separate. They separate because they have different solubility in the solvent and are absorbed to different extents by the chromatography paper. I hope you all understand, student. Once again, go through all the topics.